your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world. Now on to our show with your host, Peter Mingils.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingils here. You're listening to us on Building Fortunes Radio. It's www.buildingfortunesradio.com. For those people that might be unfamiliar with my voice, my name is Peter Mingils, and we do this radio show every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time for those people listening in, and we do this one with a gentleman. His name is Mike Harrington. I usually don't date the radio show, but today is Veterans Day. And if I don't at least say Happy Veterans Day, thank you for your service if you're a veteran or a family of a veteran or anybody that's ever enjoyed the benefits of having somebody who's in our armed forces, I would be remiss. So I don't mind dating today's radio show because it's Veterans Day. And it's 2020 for those people that might be listening in on some of the archive radios. One of the good things about Building Fortunes Radio is if you go to buildingfortunesradio.com, you'll be able to hear the archived ones and share this stuff with other people as well. So you'll be able to hear this over and over and over again. And a lot of the information is usually pretty current, including today's radio show. But I just wanted to say that for those people that might be listening in. A couple of months ago, just before, actually no, it's just starting around the pandemic, I met a gentleman. His name is still Mike Harrington. He runs the National Real Estate Investors Group, NREIG. So NREIG. And we kind of hit it off. We started talking about some of the stuff that we do with business loans over here on the other side of my life. And Mike's a real good guy. And he started telling me some of the things that he was working on with his real estate investment courses. And I said, you know what, we really need to do a radio show on this. And that's at the beginning part of the pandemic with the coronavirus, and nobody really knew what was going on. Because I wanted to know, and I know a lot of our Building Fortunes Radio listening audiences wanted to know as well, as a result of what's going on with the coronavirus and our reactions or overreactions towards it, I think Mike's message is more important today than ever before because of the dire situation that some other parts of our economy are ultimately going to be in. So if you're somebody who's looking for, what they're going to do to be able to bring in your next dollar, or you're a high school student or a college student trying to figure out what you're going to do, or you're somebody who's been displaced and now you have to figure out how you recreate yourself at whatever age you are, you really want to listen in here. And I'm going to say it like this, you can't make any mistakes. That's challenging. As an entrepreneur, sometimes you learn by your mistakes. You're going to still learn by your mistakes, but you can't make the big ones. Like the big fatal ones could be big and fatal, especially now. So you need to make far fewer bigger mistakes, which means the career path that you choose really has to be more right than wrong. You'll make the adjustments along the way like a sailor, moving the sails, but the reality is you'll need the information that Mike in his courses can teach you no matter what you are doing, because he talks about wealth as well, money handling, all that sort of stuff. So Mike Harrington, thanks for being here on your own radio show.
Thanks, Peter.
Okay, so why don't we do a little bit of a recap? Some people might not know who you are, what you do, and then let's move into this week's topics.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Peter, for having me on the show today, and looking forward to continuing this each and every week. And as you mentioned, today is November 11th. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. I am a Navy veteran myself, and I welcome veterans and would love to work with them as well as anybody else looking to change their financial trajectory as well as begin to invest in real estate. A little about myself. I am the founder of the National Real Estate Investors Group, and I am a seasoned expert in commercial real estate development and investing with over 25 years experience in the industry. So I've been there, done it, and I am a product of the education that we are going to briefly talk about and introduce today. Now, my goal is to help as many people as possible eliminate economic insecurity. How do we do that? By equipping them with the tools and the training they need to control their financial future. Now, I assist people of all ages who want a stable profession in an evergreen industry by teaching an EPIC program, education, property, income, and community, And this program sets them free from all the worrisome concerns regardless of the economy. Now, today I'm going to give everybody a little introduction into our Essentials course. Now, what do? We provide access to the premier online education platform. This is not our education. I found this education back in 2013, and here I sit today, founder and CEO of the National Real Estate Investors Group. But we offer access to the premier online education platform in all areas of real estate investing, wealth creation, very important, business ownership, and financial literacy, which we call velocity banking. Many people have heard that term. They don't know what it is, and I'm going to get into a little bit of that today. We only have a half hour, so let's get started. Now, who benefits from taking our Essentials course? First and foremost, individuals. Are you looking to change your financial course in life? It's critical. I'll get into that in just a little bit. But we also work with career builders, small business owners, consultants, financial advocates, entrepreneurs, which quite frankly I am, Peter is, and we love to work with people and show them how to get out of the status quo and start a much more realistic and successful journey. Now, what you will do is build a financial future that's solid. Now, the banks, Wall Street, government, and corporations have kept Americans in financial stranglehold for decades. Our students learn how to take back control of their finances once and for all. And the Essentials course teaches, very important, students how to make their money work to their advantage. Now, in our education, you will learn how to save on secured and unsecured debt, build a plan to wealth. You'll learn to pay off those pesky credit cards. You'll be able to build a business. You'll maximize your retirement plan. Very important, reduce your tax burden, build your network, and leverage your assets. And today, Peter, I wanted to cover, many people ask me, well, do I get a degree? Do I, get a certification? The difference between our training, I don't even like to call it education because it is training. The difference between our training and college education is the fact that you're doing it for yourself and your future, where a college education is training you for a job. Now, I graduated from college. I've got 3 degrees back in 1979. Back then, if you did well in school and you graduated from college, a job was waiting for you. That's not the way today. We all know about the $1.6 trillion student loan debt crisis. Many of those individuals, if they're employed at all, many are underemployed. And with the debt burden that they carry, most of those individuals will never realize the American dream. Now, I stay up on, a lot of the business journals and the articles, and 40% of millennials today don't feel that a college education is worth the money. Why is that? Well, with the technology moving forward, many of those jobs that were there 4, 5, 6 years ago aren't there anymore. So if you get out of college and you can't find a job, those student loan bills come in every month. You cannot extinguish those in bankruptcy. And consequently, most millennials, they cannot pay the student loan bill because they don't have a job or they're very underemployed. And they can't afford an apartment. They can't afford a car payment. So many are reduced to still being at home with very little future ahead of them. So we have the ability to change that. Now, what does it take to work with us? First of all, compared to college, you're training for a lifestyle. You will learn, as I mentioned, how to leverage the existing financial system to your benefit, not to the benefit of Wall Street, the banks, and the government. How do we do that? Well, we have an essentials course. Now, we have many other courses, obviously, advanced training that are available. But today I want to talk about a real program to get people started, because everybody has to start somewhere. And it's, the cost for the value is unbelievable. It's a very low entry point into our program to get started. Now, what does it take and what does an individual need, let me say it that way, to begin working with us? Well, a couple things. Number one, they've got to be tired of their existing situation and want to make a change. And they need to understand that if they keep going like they're going, that it's going to be the same thing and nothing will change. Most W-2 employees, they're at a 30 to 33% tax bracket. Myself, as a S corporation and self-employed business owner, I pay personally 7.5% in tax. How do I come up with that number? 7.65 actually, because I pay a 15.3% self-employment tax, but my corporation pays half that. So you can see by developing a business, and that can be any business. It's not like you've got to go out and borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can start a business today. Now, the important thing, though, is you have to have a mindset that is ready to learn. If you're too cool for school, that I like to call those folks, and you're not willing to learn a new way that's going to benefit yourself, you're going to have a hard time. Those that are really interested in, number one, turning around their financial trajectory and then start investing in real estate, those are the people that can have a lifestyle that they never dreamed about. So what I would like to do very quickly is cover the courses that we have in the Essentials curriculum. Now, this is all online, on demand, 24/7, and the education company has broken down in the courses into segment. Each course has about 30, 35, maybe a little more, depending on the course. Segments. So they're broken down into roughly 15-minute sections. So you can take those on a lunch hour if you're still working. And while I mention lunch hour, we're not asking anybody to quit anything. What this education can do is teach you how to work your way out of a W-2 job. And that's critical. Myself, I'm self-employed, and I love helping people get into this education, start training, and once they start realizing how they have been taken advantage of by the banks, the government, Wall Street, it opens up a whole new realistic world to them where they keep more money in their pocket. And I often wondered, why don't they teach this in school? And then the light bulb came on. It's because they don't want you to know it. Plain and simple. They don't want you to know this. So let me, before the break, let me cover the topics in the Essentials course. Now, it's broken down into two sides. We have the real estate side, and then we have the wealth creation side. Now, on the real estate side, we have the Real Estate Foundations course, which is the terminology, the jargon, and a little bit about real estate that you need as a foundational learning apparatus so you can move forward. Next, we have negotiations, which quite frankly is the highest paid activity on the planet, probably second only to intellectual property, where you're going to find the deal of the decade before anybody else knows about it. real estate red flags. And I tell people sometimes the best deal that you ever do is the deal you walk away from. And we teach you what is a good deal and what isn't a good deal. And creative acquisition course, that teaches individuals. Many have heard about no money, no credit. That's where that is. That covers the whole gamut of how you do that with no money, no credit, partnering with other people. And then on the wealth creation side, we have velocity banking, leveraging the banking system, tax and legal day 1, tax and legal day 2. Because if you don't understand the tax code, you're a victim of it. Now, you hear all the politicians and all the nonsense about, millionaires don't pay their fair share. They pay their share according to the tax code, and they have accountants and bookkeepers and everybody else that know the tax code. So they're paying their fair share, but they're leveraging that. And you'll learn about self-directed IRAs, and another very critical course is understanding your credit day 1. And many people think, well, credit's about a FICO score. It is to a point, but that's only 30% of your total credit profile. So understanding your credit and understanding what the banks are looking for enables you to, structure yourself credit-wise by really learning how everything works.
Oops, perfect. We're going to do this. Let's take our little commercial break before we forget, and we're going to come back on the other side with Mike Harrington.
Thanks for listening to Building Fortunes Radio. If you sell a product or service, then you should check out PM Marketing's NetworkLeads.com. Just visit www.networkleads.com. For over 18 years, PM Marketing has helped distributors build their home-based businesses through lead generation, website development, automated email delivery systems, and sales training. If you're looking for a way to increase your skills and increase the number of people that see your product or opportunity, NetworkLeads.com can help. To learn more, visit www.networkleads.com. Ask about their lead management system, capture pages, personalized websites, MLM training, humongous blogs, the humongous classified ad network, Building Fortunes Radio, or their webinar schedule. NetworkLeads.com can be your one-stop shop for everything you need. And now, back to our show.
We are back. Peter Mingils here with Mike Harrington. If you go to buildingfortunesradio.com / and you could look for Mike Harrington on a guest, or you can go to NREIG. We gave a short one, so you just have to remember the initials. If you go to buildingfortunesradio.com / NREIG, you're going to be able to pull up this as well as the previous radio shows. And Mike's talking about college versus this type of education. And Mike, I just want to throw something in. You can comment on this for those people listening in. I was in a little bit of training one time with a gentleman. His name is still Warren, and he was over in Ohio, and he sold encyclopedias for a company called P.F. Collier. And he taught me something I never forgot, because in the presentation with selling education, which is really what you're selling when you're selling encyclopedias, he said to the parents of people that are younger, he says, there's probably 3 things that are going to change or have a big impact on your life. And those 3 things are who you marry, what your education level is, and what you do to pursue money. So, and when he was talking about those things, again, it was, who you marry, is going to be a big difference, right? We all know that. Your education level and what you do to pursue money. And a lot of the things, when you're talking to younger kids, you're like, well, where do you think you're going to meet maybe your spouse? A lot of people go, you go to a good school, you find good people, and then that's probably going to be a determining factor and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So you take what I just said and you figure that stuff out. Nowadays, things are still the same, meaning your education level, what you do to pursue money, and who you marry are probably going to still have really big determining factors. The only and big difference now is what are you going to do to pursue money? I was a biology major and a chemistry major in school with a French minor. So biology, chemistry, and French. How much do you think I use as far as my biology, my chemistry, doing our radio shows and the other things that we do? Very little. I mean, it helps me with some of my knowledge about how things work. And my French degree helps me with Jean-Luc. He's a guy we do a radio show with on Friday nights, and he speaks French because he's from France, and he's got a French accent. So chances are there's my minor at school. But I don't use a lot of my college education in the things that I pursue. Now, if I was going to be a doctor, like a medical doctor, you don't want one of those guys wing and brain surgery. You know, you want that guy to specialize, 12 years of school, plaques on the wall. But for many of us who might not specialize, we need that education. And I love the idea that you call it training and an education, and it's really about building a lifestyle. And I'll let you rather comment on whatever I just said, blend it into whatever you want to talk about during this next section.
Thank you, Peter. Exactly. And, the pursuit of money, the basis of our group is selfless working with others. And the key to success is helping others succeed. And our program is designed for that. And, if you help other people get what they want, you will get what you want. And, it's real estate investing in wealth creation. It is a mindset. It's a learned behavior. Let me put it that way. Once you grasp that and start applying the knowledge that you're learning, and I like to term it knowledge rather than education, start applying to your life, what happens? Well, people around you in your circles are going to see your life changing. And they are going to ask you, a year ago you were doing this and now you're doing this. How did you get started? Well, I met Mike Harrington with the National Real Estate Investors Group. I found out about him from Peter Mingils and the Building Fortunes Network. And, you can do that too. By the way, we do have an income opportunity for those that may be unemployed, assisting me in promoting the education, and you get paid very handsomely for that. So if you're looking for something to do, and maybe you're in transition, and I know everybody is very sick of hearing about COVID, but irregardless, it's a reality. And all you have to do is turn on the news every night, and you talk about a $1 trillion student loan debt industry. You see all these on the bottom of the screen, all these companies filing bankruptcy now because of COVID, because of, what it's done to the economy. And this training separates you from all that. If you're interested in really diving in and you have the drive to succeed, and you say to yourself, I want a better life than what I have now. So, the pursuit of helping others actually is what makes you successful. That's my philosophy. It always has been. And what I would like to cover now, Peter, is some FAQs, frequently asked questions about the education. And then I'll even cover, the Essentials course and what it takes to get started. Now, many times people, are there any prerequisites to taking the Essentials course? No. The only prerequisite for taking our Essentials course is having a sincere desire to invest in yourself, not invest in education for a job, and a desire to become financially literate. It's important to have an interest in real estate and the ambition to grow your personal and professional network for more opportunities and advancements. Now, we have a wide variety of students. Our students come from a range of backgrounds, from high school dropouts to business CEOs. We have many very experienced real estate investors getting into our advanced curriculum to accelerate their business even more than it is today. And can you complete the course at your own pace and convenience? Yes, every student can complete their comprehensive courses at their own pace. Each class is approximately 7 hours long, or 70 hours of instructional time in total. The wealth management, wealth creation, and the real estate. There's actually 10 courses. And as I mentioned, the courses are available online. They are taught on the ISD platform, and that stands for Instructional System Design Platform. And that is the platform that is similar to the top online universities online. On-demand courses from your personalized back office. You actually log into a back office, and it allows you to learn from the comfort of your own home and at your convenience. So you get to set your pace for learning. The big question is, do I have to take a test? Yes. Every student is required to take a pre-assessment at the beginning of the course and a completion questionnaire at the conclusion to pass the class. The pre-assessment gives people a good idea of really what they don't know. And our motto is, you don't know what you don't know, so it doesn't matter where you start. And at the end of each course, students can take the knowledge that they've learned and apply it to their life. Now, here's the beautiful part of this education. You have lifetime access to this education. What does that mean? After 6, 12 months, the education doesn't run out. You can go back and look at it as many times as you want to, and you will need to. And if there is a new course added that is congruent with this curriculum, it's automatically added to your back office at no additional cost. So your essentials investment is one time. And there's much more training in there that is just a bonus given to you, for becoming part of the educational platform in addition to the essentials course. Now, at the end of each course, students can take the knowledge they've learned and apply it to their life right away. You're not waiting 4 years for that degree to go out and hopefully get a job before you can start making money. And it's something that is very feasible, especially if you're unemployed and working from home now. You don't know what direction you're going to take. It's amazing how people really, the light bulb goes on once you're in these courses. Now, is there anything extra included in the Essentials course? Yes, I briefly mentioned that, but every student enrolled in the Essentials course gets group coaching, study groups, and I mentioned lifetime access to the education. However, they also include in that Essentials course, you can have an education partner at no additional cost. So it's basically 2 for 1. And you could split the cost of the education with that individual. You can do whatever you want.
Thanks, Peter. You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes Radio segment with Peter Mingils. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for our featured segments. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter,